Today's suspect is Almolicious, aka Almo, affectionately nicknamed the world champion of Paper Mario. But Almo wasn't just good at Paper Mario N64 or the Thousand Year Door. No, this was a savant who at one point held a world record in all 4 of the mainline Paper Mario games. His story started sometime around 2012, with a modest entry into the Thousand Year Door any percent category. And only a year later, Almo was the one calling the shots. His performance at Games Done Quick in 2014 exposed such a wide audience to Paper Mario speedrunning that it's no surprise the community held him in such high regard. He's also been credited with the creation of Paperthon. It's a 4-game marathon where runners would attempt to speedrun all of the Paper Mario games consecutively.
Paperthon, it was an idea that I came up with in 2014. This will be a whole day of just Paper Mario speedruns.
With so many contributions, his long-standing world records, groundbreaking strategies, and performances on the big stage, it truly put their entire community under a whole new light. However, Almo was yet another flame waiting to be doused by the suffocating wave of accusations in the summer of 2020. Ironically, it happened only days after he was discussing the abuse of alcohol in the speedrunning community and his own struggles with it. But even more tragic than that, everything came out only 2 days before his final Paperthon. I reached out to one of the main accusers, Muzz, a prominent artist in the community and a short-lived friend of Almo's, to see if they'd be willing to provide some of the information that had gone missing. But I couldn't even get to that part because right after I joined Muzz's Discord and said, hey, would it be okay if I DM'd you? I was immediately kicked, and then Muzz went out of their way to find my Blue Sky account and blocked me there too. You couldn't just say no, you can just ignore me, you gotta go into full defense mode. Just be fucking normal, man. Rina is a Melee player, so no shot there. And Jessy was the only person whose accusation still had an existing archive with the screenshots attached. It was pretty to the point, so I didn't feel it'd be necessary to message her to kind of get her thoughts on it. Getting pretty black-pilled at this point, to be honest, talking to anyone in the Paper Mario community. With all the first-hand sources now exhausted, and 2 out of 3 of them having their stories completely lost to time, that being Muzz and Rina's, I was just about to throw in the towel. I'm not a genie, I can't just make evidence appear. But what I can do is throw out a Hail Mary and pray that one of you butterfingered bastards has a cached archive or saved all that shit on your computer just for me. He's not coming. He's not coming. Where's that guy? I said a beer like 5 minutes ago. I don't have a watch. What am I doing? I shouldn't be here.
Here it is. Everything you need.
You sure?
I think so. Yeah. Can I go?
Yeah. I'll wire it to the usual place, all right? Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right.
Holy shit. It was so much worse than I thought. 197 screenshots? The evidence that was sent to me was from Muzz's document, but he privated the whole drive and I could not extract the PNGs. But I don't think it's necessary to release all 197 pages, because realistically, we only need like a dozen. Just for reference, so no one gets confused while we're going through this, Rina is a trans woman, Muzz is a trans man who transitioned sometime after the situation with Almo, and Jessy is a woman. Unfortunately, like I said, I wasn't able to recover this statement posted by Rina, and I feel like even if I did reach out on Blue Sky, my record with poly dog girls isn't exactly a success. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't think I want to talk to this person anyways. You can have that. It's okay, we'll do our thing over here. However, Rina was the first, and is referenced in his confession as the main reason he made an apology in the first place, which is a big deal. So props there. Based on Elmo's response, it appears that Rina brought up his struggles with substance abuse and depression, which he did not appreciate, But I think this critique was likely sparked in response to his thread criticizing the alcohol abuse, which some viewed as hypocritical given how alcohol was connected in almost all of these stories coming out. And again, because there's missing context, I'm not sure exactly how he abused the relationship with Rina, or when this even took place and the ages of everyone involved. But if it's anything like the other two, I imagine that he opened with his relationship problems and loneliness before hopping right into RPing and sexual solicitation. Let's talk about Jessy real quick, because Muzz is going to take a little bit longer with all the, 197 screenshots. But in both Jessy and Muzz's accounts, Almo would open with the exact same line. Hey, I see you favorite my tweets. How are you? A little bit of variation in the middle there, but essentially the same thing. The meaning behind this copy and paste approach is promptly answered when he tells Jessy that all the girls in speedrunning are taken or are not interested, or I've tried them, LMAO. I can only imagine how many other people received this exact same cold open. And thankfully, in the case of Jessy, she decided not to take him up on his offer to meet at GDQ and establish very early in communications that she had a boyfriend. Which, as you'll notice, is an instant turnoff for the world champ, because he'll stop messaging them weeks later. Only an hour into talking to Muzz, Almo knows that they're 17, and after 5 hours, he's venting to them about his ex. The breakup must not have been that bad, because he moves on pretty quickly and starts calling Muzz cute after looking through their Twitter. I wish I could do more to help, to be honest. I'm not sure what you could do. I don't think you could help with my loneliness, so I wouldn't even entertain that idea. LOL. Sorry, that was a little creepy of me. This pattern of bringing up something completely inappropriate and then immediately regretting it repeats pretty frequently, and almost comes off as him testing the waters to see how far he can push the conversations in the direction of sexual gratification. Like when they're discussing height and then somehow gets into a cuddling roleplay scenario, Muzz mentions that they're too far away, and Almo says, I can still fantasize still. Oh, sorry, that came out so weird, haha. I want to make out with you right now. Sorry. Bro, it gets so much worse than this. This is just the start. There's no better combination than drinking and texting a 17-year-old. Almo starts complimenting Muzz's eyes, and then an hour later wants to tell him a secret. He's very attracted, and likes that Muzz is nice to him. Wants to give him some cuddles, a soft kiss, and ends it by saying, No, this was weird. I'm sorry, ignore me. How about 2 days later, when he's asking if Muzz has a boyfriend and if they're a virgin, to which Muzz replies, he was abused when he was 11, so it's a difficult subject. I can't even talk about it without feeling at least a little uncomfortable. What does Almo do right after finding out that sexual conversations makes Muzz uncomfortable? 2 minutes later, he says, just went on Facebook and found out my ex is now dating the guy she fucked right after she broke up with me. I'm gonna be sick. Okay, even if he didn't plan on fucking this fan, right? Why would this be something he's dumping within days of talking to a stranger? This guy didn't even have to rizz up 17-year-olds to lose his career. It was just a matter of time. This is the most self-destructive behavior possible as a content creator. As it usually does, it slowly evolves from cuddling, which is already kind of weird, into earlobe biting and kissing. Would you kiss me? You gotta remember, I'm only 17 though. I feel like I should point that out. Does this make it awkward? A little, but that's mostly just a society thing and the way people perceive that kind of thing. Almo assures that these drunk thoughts are sober thoughts. Remember guys, this is about Paper Mario. This is about the Paper Mario World Champion. What the fuck going on in Paper Mario? Is this why you banned me? Is this why you guys banned me? You knew I was gonna see this shit? Fuck you, man. He's got a lot of pet names for her. Honey Bun. He starts calling her Kitty at one point. Some days when he's feeling frisky, he'll just open up with a random kiss on the cheek. He'll even toss in a little heart. Free of charge. Just look at this shit, dude. He asked Muzz a hypothetical, and it's just him asking if Muzz would kiss his lips as he pleasured himself. Muzz responds, it would probably make me uncomfortable. What would a normal person do in this situation after getting turned down? You gotta double down. Of course you gotta double down. So Almo says, would it also make you uncomfortable if you listen to me moan? Most likely. Okay. Can I tell you a secret? I get turned on almost every time I think about you, but I just let it go because I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Very, very thoughtful, Almo. Very fucking thoughtful. Remember, this is a 24-year-old man saying this. I'm just gonna read the whole interaction. It's the only thing that will do it justice. I am lonely and have needs. I like fooling around, but I wouldn't ask you with your experience. And you're only 17. It wouldn't be fair at all. So I can just be sweet and not cross the line, even if I am interested. That's actually seriously cool of you. I mean it. I appreciate that you take everything into consideration like that. Thank you. Completely ignores that fucking reply and next says, I mean, I have had sex with a girl who is 16 before, so it's not like I wouldn't. But I respect your choice to not want that. That's very cool, man. Admit that you would fuck him, but you're not going to. Real gentleman behavior. Also, did he just admit that he'd be fine with fucking a 16-year-old as a 24-year-old man to some random 17-year-old on Twitter that he just met? Is this guy fucking insane? When did he have sex with a 16-year-old too? When the fuck did that happen? And remember how he just said that, oh, it wouldn't be fair to you because you're 17 and you don't have a lot of experience? Watch this shit. I want to make love to you, and I'm worthless trash. I am sorry. I wish you were romantically interested in me. It doesn't disappoint me that you aren't or make me like you less. Muzz responds with just, I'm sorry. He is literally trying to guilt trip this person into reciprocating romantic interest and his sexual fantasies. It's so transparent, it's insane. This guy literally starts turning into the Hulk once he's on vacation and can't, for some reason, find a place to relieve himself. And Muzz, who already established that this kind of sexual conversation makes them uncomfortable, is just getting bombarded with sexual fantasies and how not being able to masturbate is turning him into a worse person because he can't control his most base urges as a man. I could see a teenage boy pulling some horny shit like this. That would make a lot of sense to me. But a 24-year-old dude? You can Google boobs and get like 1 billion results. Oh, here's the response to that. I could easily just Google porn, but my brain wants you because you have made me happy. I just want the feeling to subside, but the urge gets stronger each day, and I need a release so badly. It's wrong on so many levels. You're underage. You don't want it. Even if you did, it would be impossible to satisfy that need. Not impossible, but in the ways you could, I wouldn't ask, for the reasons listed above. This is a fucking this is a proper gentleman. This is a proper fucking gentleman. This guy's like the blueprint of what a Reddit moderator should be. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you all this and just leave my dick problems to myself. You think, Elmo? Elmo need to be Sorry, when I said Elmo, it sounded kind of like Elmo, just I got hit with the tism. I'm still processing just how incriminating all the other screenshots were, but there's still something potentially even worse somehow. Almo asked this random 17-year-old if he should take advantage of his ex's drinking problem so that he can sleep with her, because he knew that she still had feelings for him, but was now in a new relationship. Part of his justification was that he was upset because she had sex with her new boyfriend immediately after breaking up with him. I just haven't had sex in a while and I really want it, but don't know if this is a good idea. What was he planning to do here exactly? Just stake her out till she got drunk, swoop in and take her back to his room? This just sounds like rape. You couldn't just stop at the 16 and 17-year-olds. You had to rape. Really, man? It's kind of cringe. I showed quite a few screenshots, but there's 197. There's a lot more role-playing, guilt-tripping. Oh, I feel bad, but I just have to nut. And it has to be you. You have to be the one. But I really don't want to take a whole nother like 30 minutes to an hour breaking those down. I feel like we got the point already. We fast forward to August, and Almo is now DMing two 17-year-olds at the same time, Jessy and Muzz. His plate's getting pretty full. However, Muzz now has a boyfriend and responds to Almo's greetings with increasingly longer delays. Daddy Almo doesn't like that. So eventually he gets the hint that he'll have to satisfy his urges somewhere else. But when you've already sampled the entire speedrunning community and your new 17-year-old also has a boyfriend, what the fuck are you supposed to do? You're just shit out of luck, aren't you? And that brings us up to speed on the confession from 2020, the reasoning behind his blacklist from GDQ and Paper Mario, and the end of Almo's 8-year legacy as the world champion.
Elmo don't want to go. Elmo want to stay and play.
Nope. That's it, Elmo. That's it for you. One minor. What community should we do next? I'm thinking maybe Minecraft or Sonic. Goodbye, Elmo. Looks like it's back to Sesame Street for you. Well, maybe not. Maybe there's too many kids there. What a trip it's been, huh? We got banned from another community, solved a few cases, and even dug up the lost media of Paper Mario's most infamous figure. Almo was a classic case of a nerdy guy getting a little sauce for the first time in his life, and then immediately trying to fuck everything he can get his little dexterous hands on. And he didn't care if he had to rape or go to jail to get it. In a way, he was more a speedrunner than anybody. What the fuck am I saying? Nah, this guy sucks. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. The moderators are going full mask off after banning all discussion on Strider and I'm Glower, and even came to the decision that both of them deserve a lifetime ban. It was revealed in a statement posted by Chomsky, an acquaintance of Glower's, through Glower's account, that the entire mod team wasn't even briefed on Glower's situation before mods like JCog ran to their personal social media accounts to call Glower a piece of shit that nobody should support. That doesn't really come across as an unbiased authority. And in the case of Strider, even if you want to blindly believe women just because they're women and that's your thing, that's your fucking ideology, whatever, her own statements and recollections of events contradict her accusations. And there's no logical reason to ignore that and refuse to reconsider your position on his ban. That's purely ideological. These people are clearly audience captured and are appealing to a certain group rather than the facts and just doing their fucking job. But you know what they say, you can't argue with stupid people. I gave you guys the knowledge to make your own decisions, and if you want to choose to stick your head in the sand, that is your choice to make. But at least everyone around you will know that you have zero credibility and your position is not based on merit. Anyways, thank you to my members and patrons. I love you guys so much. My evil twin has been pumping out a lot of content on the second channel. Looks kind of interesting. Seems like he's trying to do some dailies there. So if you're interested, go tap in. And to the Paper Mario community, until next time.